Hi everyone. Today we're going to learn about cron jobs in Node.js using this library called node-cron. But first we need to understand what is a cron job. Cron jobs are some tasks that will be running on a schedule. For example, you can run a task on every single hour of a day, or once every single day, or 6 times in a year. But first we need to understand the cron pattern. To understand cron pattern, we can use this website crontab.guru. Basically here you can put a cron pattern as an input and it will explain the cron pattern. So a cron pattern is basically a string that has 5 segments or 5 fields. Each field means different thing. So for example, here we have a string, but it is divided into 5 fields. Each field means a different thing. So the very left field actually means minute, then hour, then day of the month, then the month of the year, and then the day of the week. Each field can accept different values. It can take asterisk. Asterisk is just a wildcard. It means any value, like any minute, any second, or any day. Then you have ranges from 1 to 3, 5 to 8. Then you can put some individual values like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you can add steps using this / value. For example, here it means every 2 units, like every 2 minutes or every 2 days. For the ranges, it can take different values for different fields. So for minutes, it can take from 0 to 59 because 60 minutes an hour. Then for hour, it can take 0 to 23 because 24 hours a day. Then you have day of month. It will take 1 to 31 because at most a month can have 31 days. Then you have month 1 to 12 because 12 months are year. Then you have day of week like Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and the values are 0 to 7. 0 is Sunday and 6 is Saturday. For months and the week, you can also put their names. It should be the first 3 characters like MON for Monday or JN for January. Now let's understand the pattern in details. So I'm going to put asterisks for every field. Now that we have all asterisks, it means that every single minute, if you use this cron pattern, the task will be executed on every single minute. Let's say you only want to execute it on the 10th minute of an hour. You can replace this first asterisk with 10. Now the task will be executed on 10th minute of every single hour. Every single hour because for the hour field we have asterisks. Now let's change the hour value to 4. Now the task will be executed at 4 past 10 a.m. because it uses 24 hours format. If you want to execute it at 4 p.m., then you need to add 4 plus 12, which is 16. Now it will be executed at 4 past 10 p.m. Now let's say you want to execute it after every single 2 hours. Then you can use the step values. So first you need to put an asterisk and then you need to put 2. Now the task will be executed on every single 2 hours. For example, it will start from 12 past 10 a.m., then 2 past 10, then 4 past 10, then 6 past 10, and so on. So let me just simplify it a bit. Then you have the day field. Again, you can put individual values like you only want to execute it on 15th day of the month. Now it will be executed on day 15 of a month at 2 past 10 a.m. But you can also put a range value. For example, you can execute the task only from 15th to 20th day of a month. So you can put a dash and then pass 20. Then you have the month field. The month field takes 1 to 12, or you can also pass name, the first 3 characters. Let's say I only want to execute it on January, so I can just put 1. We can put a list using a comma. Let's say I also want to execute that on March. So I can put a comma and then pass 3. Now the task will be running on both January and March. But you can combine a list and a range. Let's say I want the task to be executed on January, then March, April, and May. So I can put a range 3 to 5. Now it will be executed on January and then from March through May. And then you have the last field, which is for the day of the week. Let's say I only want to execute the task only on Sundays. So I can put 0. For Sunday, I can also put 7. But 7 is non-standard. So it's better if you just use 0 for Sunday. 0 to 6 for the week values. Now the task will be running on 15th day of the month. The month has to be January and March through May. Let's say you have specified month January and specified the day from 1 to 5. Now you want to execute the task from 1st January to 5th January. Let's say that a Sunday doesn't fall between this date range. What will happen? Well, in that case, the task will not run. To execute the task, the time has to maintain the exact same pattern. If the time doesn't meet this pattern, then the task will not be executed. And here we have only 5 fields for the pattern. But if you're using node-cron library, then you can also use a second field at the very left for seconds. It is a feature from the node-cron library. I guess they have mentioned it somewhere. But whatever, for the seconds field, it can be asterisk, a list separator, a range of values, or step values. For the range, it will be 0 to 59 because 60 seconds a minute. So that's how the cron pattern works. I would highly recommend you to use this website to learn the cron pattern. But now let's see how we can use this node-cron library to create cron jobs for our Node.js applications. Okay, so I have package.json. I have installed the library. It's called cron. Now let's see how we can create a cron job. So first we need to create a job object from the cron job class. So import from cron job. And let's create a new instance. For the parameters, you can pass these values. You can pass the cron time, the actual task function. Then you have another function for on complete when the job will be stopped. Then if you want to auto start and then the time zone. You can also use the cronjob.from method, which is a static method, and you can pass an object instead of multiple parameters. You can also use this examples directory. They have bunch of examples. So first thing I need to pass is the cron pattern. Let's say I want to execute it on every single second, so I can pass 6 asterisks. Then the actual job function. These are the only 2 required parameters. And let's run the file. And you see nothing happens because you need to start the job. Now you're seeing this console log on every single second. Let's say I want to execute it on every 5 seconds. So I can use the step value. And now you're seeing the console log on every 5 seconds. So use the pattern for your own logic. Then you can pass on complete function. the onComplete function will be executed when the job.stop function will be executed. Where is that? Here. It will stop the job. So if you don't want to pass a function, you can pass null. And then I can pass true for starting the job. I can comment this out. Now it is still executing the job. It has two standalone functions, sendAt and timeout. The sendAt function will return you a date object when the next job will be executed. This library uses node-cron, which is another datetime library. It's going to return you a node-cron datetime object instead of a normal JavaScript object. So let's use the function const time sendAt, and you can pass any pattern. And let's console log, and I will comment this parameter. And now you see this date time. It has a lot of built-in methods. For example, it has a relative method, or toRelative, I guess. Yeah, toRelative. And it says 1 day. So after 1 day, the task will be executed. And since the job will be executed on the server, so you will be able to execute any Unix command if you have hosted your app on a Unix environment. If the video has been helpful for you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.